Hi, this is Liz with Liz's Handmade Journals. Today we are going to make a canvas field journal, and my kit will include instructions with illustrations, a bone folder, an awl with cork protector, needle and waxed thread with some paper clips, a whole template, a envelope, some pages that have map illustrations on them, some lined paper, some tea-stained paper, and a couple of pieces of watercolor paper, and the canvas cover. Now, a couple of items that you might find useful but are not included in the kit are a pair of scissors, and in this case it's a tiny little cutting board, but really it can be anything that is thick enough to protect your table, because when we start using the awl, we are going to be punching through, and sometimes it's just nice to have something to push down into, but that will also protect our table from our awl. All right, there we go. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do is get the canvas cover and decorate it. You can decorate it however you want. You can paint it, you could sew it, you could glue on it, embroider, you can just write on it. There is endless possibilities. Really, just do whatever it is that you would like to do. For this demonstration, I'm going to leave it the natural canvas. I'm not really going to adorn it with anything. Okay, so let's take our canvas and fold it in half, and you can use that bone folder to help create that fold, and then just set it aside. Our envelope doesn't need to be folded because it already has kind of a little natural fold in that flap. But now we're going to just take all of the pages and line them up where they meet at the front, and then just fold them in half. Watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is a little thicker, so just kind of take your time in lining it all up. Okay, this is the last map paper. Okay, so now we have our cover, our envelope, lined paper, tea-stained paper, watercolor paper, and the map illustrations. So what you can do now is figure out how you want your journal to be assembled. Let's take this cover. Okay, so we're going to take the canvas first. We're just going to open it up to that. And I'm going to start with a lined paper. Actually, I'm going to start with a couple of lined paper. And I'm just going to set them in the middle. Then I'm going to take a tea-stained paper, some more lined paper, then a map. I think that might be nice. Some more lined. And then I think I want my envelope kind of to be somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to lay that with the flap open. I'm going to stick another lined paper. Then I think I would like watercolor paper. Some more lined. Tea-stained paper. Another map. And a thought that you might keep in mind is the maps, if they have a clear direction, you might want to pay attention to that. And so that if you're putting a map in and it's upside down, just be mindful. So when you're placing them, if you want to make sure that they are facing up and down, this is the time to do that. Okay, lined, tea-stained. I'm going to put my other watercolor paper here. And there is no right order or wrong order. Just put them in whatever order you would like. You are customizing this to what you want. Okay. And this is my last paper. Okay. So we have all the pages folded and we have assembled them in the order that we would like them to be. But this is a good time to double check just to make sure that your journal is looking like you want. So we'll just pretend I've got my finger kind of in the middle to hold everything in because it's not sewn yet. I don't want to drop it and accidentally get everything out of order. So we've got the canvas. And I've got a couple of pieces of lined, got my tea-stained paper, okay, and then I like that, a little bit of something different there with the map page, lined paper. This is the interesting piece of the envelope, and can definitely decorate that. Lined paper, watercolor paper, lined, tea stained with the map. Oh, I like those two together. Then this is like, you might find like, oh, I don't really like that with the lined. I want it next to watercolor, tea stained paper. This is the time to change it. You're just trying to figure out if this is the order that you want it to all to be in. So if you decide like, I don't want this page here, gently just take it out and put it wherever you want that page to be. And you can do this as many times as you like until you are happy with your order. Okay. Now that we have all of our pages in the order we want and our signature is ready, we're ready to sew. So what we need to do is get our needle and our thread and gently and carefully unwind our thread, making sure not to put any accidental knots in it. Okay, we're going to thread the needle. Okay, and then we'll set that aside. I'm going to take the whole template, and it's a piece of paper that has 3 holes on the fold line. And we are going to take our paper clips. Open up your signature to the very middle center area and place the whole template inside. You want it to be flush at the top and the bottom, and we are going to paper clip it in place so we can move it a little easier without everything falling apart. Okay, now we are going to take our awl. Careful, this is sharp. And the cutting board or spare piece of wood, whatever you have to protect your paper. And we are going to, now I kind of put my fingers behind it, but I keep away from the fold where I'm going to push the awl. I don't want my fingers to be there. So I'm just going to create like a little bit of space so that I don't hurt myself. And then just push down. I pushed onto the cutting board, and then you can kind of see the very tip of that awl coming through. And then I push it about an inch out to make sure that I've got a good size hole right there. And I'm gonna do the same here. Okay, there's the very tip of it. Pushing it through the center hole. And the last hole, I'm gonna readjust my grip. Okay. And now I have got all the holes made. I'm gonna put the cork back on my awl, put it aside. All right, now carefully, because we don't want our pages to shift, but we need to take our template out. I'm going to carefully remove the clips, holding all the other papers together, and put that aside. And put the cutting board aside, and I'm going to get my needle. Now we're going to start sewing from the inside middle hole right there. And it's coming out. This is the number 2 position on my illustrations. Now leave a tail, leave about 6 inches. Then we're going to go to the back, find the hole, poke it through. Now we're at the bottom hole. This is the number 3 position. And you're going to pull the thread to tighten it, but not so tight that we pull our tail through. Okay. So now our needle is on the inside of the signature. We're going to jump all the way over here to the first hole. I'm going to go through and pull. Tighten it up, but not too tight. We don't want to tighten any the threads too tight so that the journal gets squished. We want it to keep its current state. And lastly, we're going to go through the hole in the center again, but now we're coming from the outside, going in. Okay, and at this point we can take our needle off. And I'm going to put it back on the cloth here so that I don't lose it. Okay, so now we have 2 threads on the inside of our journal, and we're going to tie a knot. I'm going to tie 1 square knot. I will try and do it where you can see it on the video. Tighten that one down. Give it a little gentle tug. Now I'm going to do a surgeon's knot. Okay. Surgeon's knot, we're going to take the thread and go once through the hole, twice through the hole. So if you can see, the thread has gone through twice. It's got 2 loops. Gently pull that knot all the way down. Give it a little tug. And we're going to do that surgeon's knot one more time. Okay, cross. Go once through the hole, twice through the hole. And then slowly pull that knot all the way down. Okay. And that is sewn together. It should not come undone. Take our scissors and trim. I usually leave about 1 inch thread remaining, and then I just kind of tuck them into the other loops there. And this is your journal. It's all done. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoy your journal.